Hey Jesse, I'm in a train riding through Atlanta, and I want to talk about group selfies. Okay, there have been group photos ever since there were cameras, and group portraits long before that, but there's something wholly unique to me about the type of photo one takes of a group when they also want to be in the photo and have either no time or no interest in using a tripod or a photo timer. I think that the spontaneity gained from rear-facing phone cameras is inarguably great. In fact, I think it's safe to say that, if we had this technology hundreds of years ago, there would be far fewer esteemed portrait painters. Even looking at the 20th century, the only popular portrait artists were abstract painters and Dadaists. In the picture of Dorian Gray, Oscar Wilde wrote, "Every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not of the sitter. The sitter is merely the accident, the occasion. It is not he who is revealed by the painter. It is rather the painter who, on the colored canvas, reveals himself." And I think that's true of paintings, obviously, but even of candid selfies. I would argue that it's actually impossible to take an objective selfie, as there is always some influence of the seer being seen seeing themselves. And that contributes to their popularity. Despite the decline in portrait art, self-portraiture is still highly practiced, both in painting and photography. Anyway, I'm not here to criticize the faces and photos we put on for our social media best lives. I want to talk about my experience with group photos. My friend Madeline does this thing where, whenever she's in a group photo with friends or family, she tries to stand just slightly too far away from the rest of the group so that, to an outside observer, she looks like an awkward photobomber. It's very funny, and I wish I could think of some sort of gimmick like that, but instead, I do what most other people do in a group photo, which is to pretend that I'm having the time of my life, but also cool. There are many reasons to take a selfie of just oneself, but group selfies are almost exclusively commemorative. They're for documenting the unique intersection of several people, a location, and a time. Recently, I take a lot for promotional material for my films, and I take them often as selfies, so it doesn't look like I tried too hard. But whenever I look back on these photos, never do I actually remember that specific moment which is photographed. And that moment is never an honest one. That image of a group of us jumping, or laughing, or playing air guitar is wholly fabricated. I did not just happen to be laughing with my team in front of the film festival logo. We were likely never casually near that logo at all. And so these photos do not recall a memory for me. They've invented one. One that I have carefully chosen to represent that event or moment. More often than not, I'm anxious or confused or exhausted, yet in 100% of group selfies, I'm elated and cool and in the moment. And I know this is the intended effect for presenting a crew photo to an audience. But because these photos remain long after my garbage memory has lost all other record of this unique intersection of people, place, and time, they become the memory for me as well. And in this way, even as a filmmaker whose job it is to lie on screen as convincingly as possible, I accidentally convince myself that this group photo must be a true representation of my whole weekend. Because there I am, in a poorly lit selfie with a group of people laughing as they try to squeeze into frame. It looks honest, so it must be. In a group selfie, we are each the artist and the sitter. We're the accident and the intention, revealing ourselves on the colored canvas. I'll leave you with this. The poet Jenim Deeby once said, "A person is a collage of people warring to become a portrait." And I think that a group selfie is one moment in time, warring to become a collage. I'll see you when I get back to LA.